You need to disconnect from the money. You need to disconnect from the financial aspect of trading in order to become a profitable trader. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how my personal journey, kind of how by removing the need for financial success from trading, turned me into a profitable trader. Turned me into a consistently profitable trader. Let's put it that way. So if you don't know my journey, I started trading about 8 years ago. Okay, I started trading about 8 years ago. I was spamming Ross Cameron videos. Right, if you don't know who Ross Cameron is, he's from Warrior Trading, an amazing dude. I took his course and I learned a lot from him. Right, but the biggest lessons that I learned were through my own losses. Okay, and that's very typical, right? Because the biggest teacher is going to be experience when it comes to trading. Right now, how did disconnecting from financial success turn me into a profitable trader? Well, the reality is that I was a profitable trader and I was making money trading, but I wasn't consistent. So what am I talking about? Well, the first 3 years, just forget about those, all right? I mean, dude, the first 3 years were horrible. Now, there's a reason why they were so horrible for me, okay? And there's a reason why they're probably not going to be as bad for you, depending on how old you are, depending on what phase you're in your life. When I first started trading 8 years ago, I was 17. Okay? I was 17. I'm 25 now. Now, a 17-year-old, you got to realize that at 17, I started, doing drop shipping and stuff like that at 15, 16-ish. So I was kind of ahead of the curve. I always I wanted money. I wanted to be financially free. I didn't want to go to fucking school, right? Because I hated school, right? So I was locked in from an early age. Now, at 17, the hardest thing I had done yet was start trading. Okay? The hardest thing I had done yet was start trading. That was the hardest thing I'd done yet. Why was it the hardest thing I'd done? Right? And why was it so hard for me? Because how you trade is a direct representation of how you live. When I was 17, I was impatient. I was reckless. I was greedy. I was impatient. I was impatient. I was impatient. For me, the characteristic of impatience was my number one weakness. Okay? But you gotta realize, I was fucking 17. What the fuck what did I know? And every day I would have these massive mood swings. Oh fuck, I lost money. Fuck. I'm never gonna make it. Oh shit, I made money. Oh yeah, let's go. Dude, if I just keep making this money every day, I'm gonna be get overly excited. I was a little kid, is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, it took me 3 years to have my first profitable year. It's not going to take you, if going back to what I was saying, the reason why I'm saying I started at 17 and the reason why it took me so long is because I wasn't yet developed enough in real life for me to take those skills and apply them to trading. At this rate, I've turned about 86 traders into full-time day traders. It's hard to say I have. Top Trade Academy has. Okay, what's Top Trade Academy? That's the exclusive community where you trade alongside me. You get to see what I buy, you get to see what I sell. Comes with a full catalog of my lessons, comes with one-on-one access to me, comes with multiple different mentors who have actual Wall Street experience, not just watched some fucking YouTube videos and lost a lot of money, right? And now became profitable like myself, right? That place has turned about 80 traders profitable, give or take. Okay, 82, 83-ish, I forgot. I think it's 83, 82, it's on the verge of 83. All right, we've been doing it for 5 years. Now, I'm here to tell you that majority of those people that turn profitable using our system, we're not 15-year-olds, we're not 17-year-olds, we're not 20-year-olds. I think the youngest person that we turned profitable was 28. 28, that's right, 28 years old. 28 years of age, that's the youngest person we turned profitable. Okay? So why is that? Because these are individuals who are already developed. They've already developed the mental aspect of trading. They've already developed discipline. They've already developed consistency. They've also developed patience. They've also developed not losing their mind and being reckless and, all of a sudden being freaking sporadic and just doing things on a whim. They're developed individuals, so they bring their soft skills into trading. When people say 90% of trading is mental, 90% of trading is psychological, 90%, they're just talking about soft skills. Okay? That's what they're really talking about. Okay? That's it. Soft skills. Right? Now, how did dissociating from the money turn me into a profitable trader? The reality is that you need to care about, when it comes to trading, when money's on the line, you need to care strategically, but you can't care emotionally. That's it. That's the only thing that works. And it's so damn hard to care strategically when your bills are tied to the given trades. Because this is what you gotta understand, right? We have two types of decision making: logical and emotional. Okay? Now, when you're lacking the logic, you're gonna rely on the emotions every single time. Let's say the stock is going up. What's your emotion gonna tell you? It's gonna keep going up. It's gonna keep going up, Sam. It's gonna keep going up. Oh my God, it's not gonna stop. It's gonna keep going up. Hold. If it goes up a little bit more, we're gonna be able to pay the mortgage. If it goes up a little bit more, we're gonna be able to retire. Maybe if it goes up a little bit more, maybe the kids will love me again. The kids are gone, mate. The kids are gone. A. B. That's emotional trading for you. Now, logic. Logic will go ahead and look at the position and say, hey, you know what? We have this level over here, resistance is over here, but we're going to take some profits before resistance. And then we let the rest see if it breaks resistance. If it breaks resistance, maybe we add. If it doesn't break resistance, maybe we just let the stock fly with the position we already have, because we already maybe oversized, so maybe we don't want to add more to our position. Maybe the stock is weakening up. Maybe the MACD doesn't look too good. Maybe the volume's drying up a little bit as we're getting higher and higher. We're going to see a divergence. All these different things. You're going about things strategically and logically. It's hard to do so when you got kids to feed. It's hard to do so when you got bills to pay. It's very hard to do so. So this is why I always tell people, I say, listen, you want to become a trader? Get a fucking job. Get a job. Get a job. Get a job. Get a job. Get something that you could live off of. Get something that you could survive off of. Because what's going to happen is that the markets are inconsistent. Your gains in the markets are not linear. This is the main problem that people don't understand, right? Is that it's so easy to take a day and extrapolate that and go, okay, well, I made 1% today. That means I can make 30% a month. If I make 30% a month, or 25%, the markets are open 5 days a week, I can make 25% a month. If I make 25% a month, wait. That means I'm making 270% a year. If I make 270% a year, in a decade, I'm a billionaire. You're doing fun math. That's fun math. That's what it is. Okay? That's all it is. It's just fun math. That's okay to do fun math. But understand that the real world doesn't work like that. Trading doesn't work like that. The way trading works is, maybe this Tuesday, you make 3%. Maybe Wednesday, you lose 1%. Maybe Thursday, 0. Nothing happens. Friday, you make 2%. Congrats. This week, you made 5%. Congratulations. Now, did every single day go the same 2% as you made? No. It's the same for months. It's the same for quarters. This quarter, my portfolio was up about 15%. Okay? That 15%, last month, and I'm not proud to fucking say this, last month, the portfolio was up like 2%. Okay? Not 2%, it was more. It's like 6%. And 2 months ago, it was up 6%. And last month, it was like 1%. My portfolio was up 1% the whole damn month. But guess what? The month before that, 3 months ago, amazing month. We brought in 9 to 11%, give or take, somewhere between there, depending on what alerts you followed, what alerts you didn't follow. So that puts us on the quarter for 15%ish. 15, 16%, give or take. The exact same thing happens in annuals, right? Years. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys is, the problem with trading is that it gets harder the more you expect consistent results. And the only thing that you should be paying attention to for consistency is yourself following rules, yourself following alerts. That's all you should care about. That's all you should care about. That's it. That's all you should care about. Okay? Now, how did I manage to become consistently profitable and get through that phase? How did I manage to do so? I'm going to be honest with you guys. So, first 3 years, like I was saying, write it off, garbage. After that, the next 2 years, I was profitable, but I was very inconsistent. What do you mean? So 1 month I'll make 10K, 1 month I'll lose 5. 1 month I'll make 7K, 1 month I wouldn't make anything. 1 month I'll lose 3K, 1 month I'll make 13. 1 month I'll lose 5K, the next month I'll lose 2K, the month after I'll bring in 6K. Right? So overall annually I was profitable, but on a month-to-month basis, I couldn't fucking live, dude. I couldn't fucking live. I was like, am I rich? Am I poor? Like, do I buy a Lambo or do I fucking drive the same car I've been driving for God knows how long? Or like, what is going on? Can I do what's happening? That will drive you nuts. That will drive you insane. That will drive you insane. I'm telling you right now, that's the shit that drives you nuts. That's the shit that makes you go more aggressive when you don't need to go aggressive. That's the shit that makes you be scared when you don't need to be scared. That's the shit that fucks with your head. And it all stems from one thing. Is that you don't have a thing that's paying your bills. So many people want to become a full-time day trader. I want to be a full-time day trader. I want to be a full-time day trader. To me, becoming a full-time day trader, is it possible? Of course it's possible. Of course it's possible. However, you first need to build a cushion big enough where even the 5% of your portfolio that you bring in equates to $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per month. So then you can take a step back and stop being so aggressive, looking to get money, get more money, get more money, get more money. So then later on, you can actually, now that you're consistent enough, and the only things you've looked at has been, hey, have I been following my rules? Okay, I've been following my rules. Okay, good. Then you can scale easier when you actually have the funds. How did I manage to dissociate from the money? Well, like I said before, I had previous experience in e-commerce. Okay, I was doing Shopify, dropshipping, this and that. 2020, my first Shopify store took off. Okay, I started making freaking, I'll never forget, man. You know, and this is the thing about things only make sense backwards. You know, so 2015, 2016, obviously the Shopify for a couple of years, and nothing really worked. I think the biggest money I made was I built a Shopify store. I spent $100 on the store, and then I sold the pre-built store. It was a Star Wars. It was a Star Wars dropshipping. Mind you, at that point, now I've obviously watched Star Wars since then, many years later. At that point, I hadn't watched a single fucking Star Wars movie in my life. And I was here doing Star Wars dropshipping. The fuck did I know? Okay, it's got a niche, it's got a target. All right, I'm gonna sell to them. I'm gonna make some money. Anyways, I spent $100 on the website, set everything up, sweat equity to the max, do this, do that, blah, 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 right? School lunch, I would stay inside, I would be doing fucking Shopify. My boys were like, what are you doing? You fucking buying Star Wars clothes? What are you doing? I'm like, nah, bro, it's my website. I'm trying to set it up. Luckily, I had good friends. They always supported me, right? They weren't like, fucking loser, what are you doing? It wasn't like that. I've been very blessed in life. But what I'm trying to tell you is I spent all the time, $100 spent on the store. I sold it for $200. So in those 2 whole years, the maximum amount of money I made was $100. Those first 2 years. Then in 2020, COVID hit. Shit's hitting a fan. Everyone's home. Everyone's buying everything. Markets are booming. I launched a different e-commerce business called Stock Junkies. Now, what was Stock Junkies? Don't worry about it. Maybe we'll talk about it another time. I'm joking. I'll tell you what it was. I was pretty much selling stock market merchandise. That's it. That's what it was. Okay? And through my acquisition channels, running ads, doing this, doing that, dude, I was killing it. I mean, I was crushing it, guys. I was 20, bringing in thousands of dollars a day. So I was like, bro, this is it. I made it. Next thing you know, so what I was doing is I wasn't just making stock market merch, going like, yeah, to the moon. No, no, no. I was taking companies' logos and I was putting them on shirts and I was selling those shirts to their investors. So imagine a Tesla shirt with the logo Tesla on it, okay? Advertised to Tesla owners, Tesla share owners. Or now imagine BBBAI or freaking Big Bear AI or imagine fucking, I don't know, what Open Door. Open Door, I bet Open Door right now, if we were to sell Open Door merch, that shit would fly off the shelves like crazy. But, whoa, what the fuck is going on? I just broke everything. Okay, there we go. Plug this bad boy back in. The audio's probably messed up. But I started making money there. I started making money from my Shopify stuff. And then I no longer needed money to trade for trading. I no longer was forcing alerts every single day. I no longer was forcing trades every single day. Right? So what did I do? Took a step back. Okay? Slowed things down. Right? Bam. We're bringing good money. Okay, this trade, I'm in the mornings I'm looking at the charts. I'm checking things out. I'm going, okay, well, does that make sense? Is that a good trade? Nah, it's not. Okay, who cares? I already made $1,000 today. I would wake up to like $600 in sales. The best feeling in the world. The best feeling. I'll look at the trade. I'll be like, does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. I'm not taking it. Okay. The next day, does that make sense? No, it's not a good setup. No. The day after, does that make sense? Okay, well, this setup could actually be good. Okay, huh? This actually looks like, never mind. No, this one thing looks a little iffy. No. The next day. I would go 2 weeks with just not trading at all, not buying a single damn thing. And then, when the stars aligned and everything looked good and the stock was good, this is it. This is the fucking setup. This is what I've been waiting for. Bing, buy. I no longer was looking for the money. I no longer was chasing after the money every single day. I was waiting for the trades to come to me. I had the ability to sustain myself without relying on the market conditions every single day. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is if you're in a position where you have a business or you're working for yourself, you're making good income, you are the individual who can succeed in trading. You are the person who can succeed in trading. You are the person. I promise you, you are the person. I promise you. If you're someone who's a little kid coming out of high school, trying to get rich, trading, yada yada, don't trade. That would be my advice to you. Don't trade, go start a business. This isn't what made me rich, bro. This is what made me rich. This isn't what got me out of that broke stage that I was at. I'm not saying you can't do it for you. Everyone's journey is different. But for me, this shit changed my life from taking me from being like, oh, so what happened to the Shopify store? Let's talk about that. What happened to the Shopify store? 2 years later, I got hit by a fucking lawsuit saying, oh, you've used this logo, you've used this logo, you've used this. These companies pretty much, they got together, their PR teams got together and they all fucking sued me. And then I had to pay like fucking $150K in damages. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, okay? But that was years later, right? So at that point, shit, $150K for me was like, yeah, okay, I'll pay it, okay, I'll pay it. But they came with $150K, so obviously got it lowered, I got it lower and everything like that. It became a lot less, right? But that was something. It was something. But I mean, I can't lie to you guys. The way we were pushing those shirts out, it was kind of like I had been waiting to get hit with like cease and desists, and the cease and desists were not coming, which made me worried because I was like, okay, are these guys fucking like building a case? Like, what's happening? Like, do they just not care? Or like, what's happening? And then, anyways, caught up with me, okay? Well, going back to what I was saying was in this business, this is the business where you need money to make money. You need money to make money. You can't be the type of person that comes in here with $50 in your pocket and go, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna turn this $50 into $50,000. Not happening. It's not happening. It's just not fucking happening. Okay? It's just go buy a lotto ticket. That's your best bet. Because it's not happening. It just doesn't work like that, right? It just doesn't work like that. First, you're gonna lose a little bit. Can you afford to lose a little bit? Can you afford to lose it? No, you fucking can't afford to shit. You got $50 in your pocket. If you lose the $50, now you're shaking a cup on the side of the street. This is what I always tell people. I say, listen, if you have a job right now that's making you good money can be whatever good money means to you. Good money. I didn't say great money. I didn't say amazing money. I didn't say you're rich. I didn't say your life is set. Good money. Kids are taken care of. You don't got to worry about your bills too much. Okay? You are the person who can succeed in this trading shit. Because you're not going to rely on it in the beginning as your main source of income. When I see people relying on trading as their main... Now, listen, now I'm in a different position. If you join the Discord, you're going to be following my alerts. You're going to be okay. But I'm talking if you're planning on doing this shit for yourself, by yourself. Okay? Then obviously it's a little bit different, right? If you're planning on doing this shit by yourself, for yourself, forget about the money. Forget about the money. Because A, it's not going to be there the first couple of years. Maybe a little bit less. Again, like I said, if you have life experience. I believe that if you have life experience, if you're above the age of 30, okay, and you're semi-successful in whatever the fuck you're doing. Let's say you went to school. Let's say you did whatever. Okay, let's say you're semi-successful. Okay? I can turn you profitable in 6 to 8 months. I know that because I've done that. Okay? I know that because I've done that. So, that's it. That's my take. Right? Dissociate from the money. Be able to reflect, because at the end of the day, this is the thing about trading, right? It's all stress management. It's all stress management. When people say, oh, psychology, it's all stress management. That's all it is. It's all stress management. Are you the type of person that's going to fold and not stick to your plan, or are you the person that's going to be disciplined and remain calm and cool and collected? Now, you may say, I am a very disciplined person because I stick to my trading strategy every single day. Yeah, but you know what? How much of your discipline that is credited for by actually correctly managing your size? Let me give you this example. Let's say you're trading out of a $100,000 account, okay? And you're using $5,000 per trade, okay? Okay, using 5% of your portfolio. Now, let's say someone has a $5,000 account and they're using $1,000 per trade. To put that into your perspective, for you, that means that you have a $100,000 account and every trade you're taking is with $20,000. 20% of your trade, 20% of your portfolio. Now I bet you're going to be a little bit less disciplined, right? Now I bet the red is going to, it's going to wear on you, right? Now I bet when you see a little bit of red, you're going to be like, oh, sell some, maybe close. That's what it is. That's really what it is, right? So I think so many people, so what I'm trying to explain to you is that having money allows you to dissociate from the money. And it also allows you to use less risk, take less risk, which leads to you feeling less emotional about the trade, which leads to you making less emotional decisions and using logic, which leads to you becoming profitable. You did it. You did it. Congratulations. You did it. All right. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Your boy Sam.